on, Nips here, bringing you a brand new, fresh series that I like to call Team Tactical Thursdays. Every Thursdays, you guys will be giving me a Pokemon, and I will explain why this Pokemon is viable in whatever tier you want me to explain it in. For example, you guys could give me a Pokemon this week, so what I did is I chose one of my absolute favorite Pokemon, Dugtrio, my Mole Man Mole, and we're going to analyze him in the OU tier, where I think he is more than capable of doing a lot of work in. I'm going to tell you the top threats of this Pokemon, the cautions, Pokemon you should watch out for. Basically, the difference is that top threat is get the hell out of there. You do not want to be in against this Pokemon. Caution is, you know what? You can be against this Pokemon given certain circumstances, but you might not want to be for X reason. Then we have goes well with, a Pokemon that partners, or a Pokemon that, for example, a threat comes in against Dugtrio. The goes well with section will be a Pokemon you want to switch into to advert that threat. The item is the item of my choice. You can see it right now, but I'll also give you other examples of items to put on this Pokemon. Sweeping potential. Out of 5, 1 through 5, with 5 being this guy can wreck your whole entire team. 2, 1 being like this Pokemon sits there and does nothing but soak up damage. So for example, a tank would probably get a 1, maybe a 2, depending on the moveset. It's all dependent. Basically, like, I mean, you could say Mega Silver could be a 5 if you get a +2 or 3 command off, but in general, I'm gonna say a Mega Silver would be a 1, possibly a 2, given these circumstances. And X Factor being how this Pokemon can change the game in your favor. So let's start off with the basics, the moveset, the IVs, and the EVs. Obviously 31 IVs, the EVs being 252 speed, 252 attack, 4 in HP or special defense, whichever you prefer. And then make sure you are jolly, arena trap, and the most important thing here is being jolly, because 120 speed is beautiful, but some adamant, if you go adamant, some jolly Pokemon or timid Pokemon become threats on the trio. So you want to make sure you're jolly. And to make up for the lack of power, I do really recommend a choice band. You can go Life Orb. I don't like Life Orb because the trio's attack isn't that high, as you can see. And Life Orb, yes, gives you a 30% boost, but Choice Band gives you that 50% boost in the power. And assures more KO potential than a Life Orb does. But Life Orb allows you to switch your attacks up, but we'll get to that in a bit. Anyway, the moveset that I prefer is Earthquake, Air Relay, Stone Edge, and Pursuit. Now, Nips, why run Pursuit on an Arena Trap Dugtrio? I'll tell you why. Because Ghost Pokemon, and I think maybe Steel Pokemon, possibly get around the Arena Trap. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure about that, but I know for a fact Ghost Pokemon do get around Arena Trap. Hence why I have Pursuit to OHKO those Gengars. Gengar, as long as it's not staged, or took rock damage, Pursuit will guarantee 111% damage if it does switch out when you go for Pursuit. If not, you're gonna do roughly 3/4 to it, which should still do a lot of damage, or even kill it, depending on where its HP is at in the current situation. So I like this moveset. If you don't like Pursuit, which I'm going to test out next time I use Dugtrio, I'm going to run Sucker Punch on Dugtrio to get around those choice scoffers. EQ is basically a stab of choice, a beautiful move. There's no reason why not to run EQ on Dugtrio. It's stab, it covers a lot of weaknesses, it does a lot of damage, and it puts in the work. Aerial Ace to get around pesky Pokemon, grass Pokemon, such as Superior in the OU tier. It's not going to guarantee a KO, but if Superior has like 60 to 65% HP, I didn't do the calc on it, but I think a jolly choice banded Aerial Ace may be more than enough to kill it. I don't know about that, you guys can calculate yourself, but Aerial Ace puts in work against those grass Pokemon that want to switch in on Dugtrio, and also some fighting Pokemon that might want to switch in on Dugtrio as well after you kill something. For example, you kill Pokemon, insert Pokemon here, they bring in a Machamp, they bring in a Superior, they bring in a Conkeldurr, I don't know. You go Aerial Ace, you're doing some decent damage to that thing, and if they're low enough, they're going to die to it as well. So as a last effort, you know Dugtrio is going to die. You see a fine Pokemon comes in, you bring in your Dugtrio, you go Aerial Ace, if it's going to do more than EQ, which I think it will 9 times out of 10. So it's a nice move to have. Then we have Stone Edge, which covers the Ice and Flying Pokemon adversity. So basically, Stone Edge hits the flying Pokemon, high critical hit ratio. It's gonna OHKO things that are weak to a rock, I think, for the most part. Charizards are gonna drop. Bird Pokemon are gonna most likely drop. I mean, I don't think a Zapdos will drop, even though it's UU now. But I don't think a Zapdos is gonna drop to a Stone Edge. Talonflame gone, obviously. Fire Pokemon, you obviously you go for EQ over Stone Edge. Just as Charizard, you go Stone Edge and destroy its family, and it's a whole entire ancestry body gets hit by a Stone Edge because it does so much, being times per week. And Pursuit to trap those Ghost Pokemon. You hit Pursuit, goodbye to that Gengar. You hit Pursuit, goodbye to that Chandelier. You hit Pursuit, goodbye to that Mismagius. So on and so forth. Especially if they switch out. If not, with rock damage, it has like a huge, like I think over 80% chance to kill Ghost Pokemon that are weak to Pursuit, that do not switch out, that are also, as long as you have a choice band on it. So that's my moveset of choice. Like I said, if you don't like Pursuit, put on Sucker Punch to get around those choice Scarfers. I'm going to try that out for the next time I use him. So, a top threat to Dugtrio, a Pokemon you never, ever, ever want to stand against, is this guy right here. Rotom Wash. You can't EQ it. You can't Air Lace it. You can Stone Edge it, but you're going to die to freaking Hydro Pump or, yeah, just Hydro Pump. Sure, I can't Volt Switch or T-Bolt you, but you're going to get Will-O-Wisp. You're going to get Hydro Pumped. You're going to die. And if this thing gets burnt, it's literally useless, yo. Its attack power is way too low. That's why I rather choice band on it. If you get burnt, you are in bad, bad, bad shape with the trio. So you never, ever, ever want to stand against a bulky water Pokemon in general, and let alone Rotom Wash. Because Rotom Wash is Levitate, so your EQ is doing nothing. A bulky Pokemon, a bulky water Pokemon, in general, like maybe a Slowbro or a Jellicent, maybe you could pursue Jellicent, but maybe you could get away with the EQ, depending on how low it is. You're gonna outspeed a bulky water Pokemon no matter what. It is not, unless it's Scarf Rotom, which I don't think I don't think it can even outspeed. Never mind, I will. But it's not gonna be bulky anymore if it's running Scarf Rotom. But anyway, back on track. You could get away with the EQ if it's a low HP or it's lower on the HP percentile. You can EQ. Maybe you kill it, but I do not recommend leaving Dugtrio in against a Pokemon like Rotom Wash. You will have a bad, bad time. You see Rotom Wash, you get the hell out of there ASAP, and then we have a Caution Pokemon. Now, there's a couple of Caution Pokemon, but I chose this Pokemon because it represents the Caution for the trio very well. We have this guy right here, Weavile. Now, Weavile, you got to caution against it. First of all, because if it's Adamant, you do outspeed it, hence why it's Caution. But if it's Jolly, Icicle Crash, you're donezo. You gotta watch out for that. But at the same time, Weavile doesn't want to really stand against the Dugtrio, especially if it's Adamant. So if you know your opponent's Weavile is Adamant, you go EQ, it's gone. You go Stone Edge, it's gone. So he's gonna probably switch out on you. So it's a little bit of a give or take. You gotta use your judgment there. That's why it's a Caution Pokemon. Because you do die to Icicle Crash. Also, Ice Shard might kill you, depending on the if it's Adamant, it probably will go Ice Shard. So basically, I just chose Weavile. I know it's pretty good against. It could definitely be a top threat for Dugtrio. But basically any Pokemon that outspeeds Dugtrio and has an attack that Dugtrio is weak to, you don't want to stay in unless the situation allows for it. For example, you're gonna live the Ice Shard. For example, you're Focus Sashed. For example, it could die to Sucker Punch if you have Sucker Punch on it. Basically, Pokemon that are fair to the trio. Let's give another example. Alakazam. Alakazam speed ties you. I could have put Alakazam in the court section because HP Ice. I don't think Alakazam's HP Ice will kill Dugtrio. It might, but it's not stab. But he does have high special attack. I didn't do the calc on that, but it could. But at the same time, if he's sashed, he's gonna die to Pursuit. He's gonna die to EQ, or he's gonna go down to 1 HP. So you gotta watch that. You gotta use your better judgment. So basically, Pokemon that are fast in Dugtrio or speed type Dugtrio, you need to watch out for. Yes, you can stay in, but it's up to your judgment about the situation of the battle. So, with those two Pokemon right there, for example, what will go well with Dugtrio? What can take out a bulky water Pokemon or a good speedy Pokemon that can do a lot of damage to Dugtrio, you got this guy right here. A good recommended partner for Dugtrio is this beautiful Mega friggin' Venusaur. Now, you gotta make sure it's Mega Evolve beforehand, otherwise Ice damage is gonna do a pretty good amount to you. But once you Mega Evolve, Ice damage ain't gonna do that much to you. So, why Mega Venusaur? Well, Rotom Wash is clearly easily checked by Mega Venusaur, which is a big thing to have on your team in general. But Rotom does not like Venusaurs. It can't do anything to it. It can burn him, and that's about it. Once you burn it, you take on residual damage. It doesn't lower Venusaur's attack unless it's a physical Venusaur. But you go Giga Drain, and that Rotom Wash is taking half its health right there. Citrus Berry maybe goes back up. I don't think Rotoms will ever stand against Mega Venusaurs. And Weavile. Why is he good against Weavile? Well, sure, you're weak to weak ice before you Mega Evolve, but you're going to be Mega Evolve. I'm assuming you're going to be Mega Evolve beforehand. Also, you avoid the knockoff. Knockoff is going to do damage to your whole entire team no matter what, basically. But the good thing here is that you get to keep your item as you switch into Mega Venusaur. And your Mega Venusaur is going to take less damage than somebody else because the item is not being knocked off. And we all know that knockoff does double the damage when an item is indeed knocked off. So, Mega Venusaur is a good partner for Dugtrio. It also covers his weaknesses. Dugtrio is weak to water, ice, grass, and water, ice, grass. Anything else? Grand Pokemon are weak to? I don't know. Water, ice, grass. No, I think that's it. So Venusaur eats Mega Venusaur eats that all up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, all day. So Mega Venusaur is a beautiful Pokemon to go with Dugtrio. And then Venusaur is weak to Psychic and Flying, which Dugtrio can't do anything about. But just basically, Dugtrio is in a tight spot. You can probably go into Mega Venusaur in most of the situations, but I don't know. I think Mega Venusaur is a great partner. Maybe you guys have a different opinion. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, guys, for my videos like this, if you have an opinion, you want to state another good partner, another good caution, another good top threat, maybe another item I didn't cover, write it in the comments. Let me know, guys. I would love to hear what you guys think about this. So next up is the item on Dugtrio. I put Choice Bands here. I love Choice Band Dugtrio. You can run Life Orb. You're going to do less damage, especially being a Jolly Dugtrio. You're going to do a lot less damage. You can do 20% less damage to be exact. And that's that's a fifth less in Choice Bands. Yes, you can switch your moves up. But, oh my god, my disc is going to die. Holy crud. Hold on. That's going to be bad. I don't want this DS dying. It is flashing red. And we don't like that. Put the charger in. Sorry, guys. Alright, so yeah. Basically, you're going to lose 20% power to Life Orb. Yes, you can switch moves. But, usually when the trio kills a Pokemon, they're going to bring in something to counter it. Unless it's later on in the game. So that's why I run Choice Bands. Because if you're late in the game, you just go EQ, EQ, EQ. If you can. Otherwise, if it's early game, you go EQ, switch. Aerial Ace, switch. Stone Edge, switch. Pursuit, switch, etc. So if it's early to mid game, you're probably going to be switching the trio out more than usual. But it gets late game and your opponent has like 3 or 2 Pokemon left, you probably could EQ those Pokemon if you played right. So anyway, I recommend Choice Band. Yes, you could go Life Orb. Yes, you will receive a damage boost, damage reduction. Yes, you can switch your moves. But other than that, I do like Choice Band better 9 times out of 10. You can go Focus Sash, but with how prevalent a good player will have rocks up against you, or how prevalent rocks are in the meta to begin with, you're gonna have a bad time with Focus Sash. I do not recommend Focus Sash. Rocks are only gonna do about 8 to 9 damage to Dugtrio, depending on your HP. I think Pokemon runs down. It does 8.8 damage. So depending, it's going to do 8 or 9 damage to my Dugtrio. Like 110 HP, it's going to do 8 or 9 damage. You can switch it a lot. That is not a lot of damage to rocks at all. Dugtrio does not care about rocks. As long as Dugtrio is alive, Dugtrio does not care about its HP. As long as you outspeed your opponent's Pokemon. Because rocks don't do nothing, and you're going to kill things a lot with Dugtrio. Now, sweeping potential. I gave Dugtrio a sweeping potential of 3 to 4. Now, why 3 to 4? Well, this Pokemon cannot single-handedly take out 6 Pokemon by itself, especially being Choice Banded. There's no way. Yes, it can do a lot of damage to your opponent's team, but late game, if you played it right, and you put your opponent in unfavorable situations, it's definitely a 4 because It's really fast, 120 base speed, and if your opponent has a flying Pokemon or a grass Pokemon or something that could resist EQ in general, EQ is gonna rip through your opponent's team. Pretty damn bad, especially being Choice Band Stab. So it's basically it's from 100 base power. Choice Band would make it 150. Stab would make it 25% extra. So I don't know the correct order of math, but basically it's extra 100% damage between Stab, Choice Bands, and if your opponent is weak to that attack, it's over double the damage. But if it's regular damage, it's just Stab, Choice Bands, it's 175% damage instead of 100% damage. So basically, you guys do the math there. Dugtrio could definitely do a lot of work to your opponent's team, but it's definitely not an all-time ridiculous sweeper. That's why I give it a 3 to 4. You can't argue a 2 to 3, but I will give it 3 to 4 because your opponent is prepared for Dugtrio. It will rip through their team. That's why I give it a 3 to 4. And last but not least, the Pokemon's X Factor. I have 2 things for its X Factor, but I only listed 1 here because it's kind of hard to fit text in a small little box. So we put Switch. Now, what does that mean? Dugtrio and its double switching ability is phenomenal. For example, your opponent just killed you with a Charizard. You switch in your Starmie to counter said Charizard, outspeed and kill it with Scald or Hydro Pump, whatever you want to say. Your opponent knows it is weak to Starmie, and it's going to switch out into its Raikou, or its Manectric, or its insert good fast electric Pokemon, or a good hard-hitting electric Pokemon to take down said Starmie. You know your opponent's going to bring that bad boy out. You double switch into Dugtrio. You trap him, and you put him in an unfavorable situation. They might HP ice you, yeah, so be it. It's not Stab, you're not gonna die. You're gonna be low, but you're not gonna die. You EQ, and getting rid of a Raikou or a Manectric or a stronger Pokemon in general, or a Pokemon that's weak to EQ, or maybe a Fire Pokemon, maybe you had a Grass Pokemon out. They're gonna bring in a Fire Pokemon to counter it. You bring in a Trio to get its EQ. Basically, the double switch mind games with Dugtrio. If you double switch right, you are gonna fuck the hell out of your opponent. You're gonna dominate their whole entire team. If you switch properly, not the whole entire team, but you guys get what I'm saying. If your double switches are on point, you are gonna wreck shop with Dugtrio. And one last thing about Dugtrio, if you don't like Pursuit or Sucker Punch, what you can do as a last ditch effort, make him more supportive and go for a Memento, which basically lowers your opponent's attack and special attack. I think it's attack special attack by 2 stages, so which allows you to bring in. So Dugtrio faints, you lower their stats by 2. Their attack fails because there's no target. You bring in a Pokemon that can set up, such as maybe let's go with a Feraligatr. That's the first thing into my head. That basically allows you a free D-Dance because they're a -2 attack or special attack. They're not gonna do a lot of damage to you. They're gonna switch out. You get a D-Dance off, and then you proceed to sweep, or you get a Swords Dance off with another Pokemon. You proceed to sweep, or you guys get the point. Memento could be used as the X Factor, but I do think Dugtrio's biggest X Factor is its double switch mind games. If you do that right, you're in your opponent's head. That Arena Trap ability is absolutely ridiculous, guys. So that's all I'm gonna say about Dugtrio in the OU tier, guys. I hope you enjoy this series. If you guys have any feedback, suggestions, Pokemon you want to see, any other top threats, cautions, or partners that Dugtrio could go well with, even an item, you disagree with the sweeping potential, the X Factor, whatever you want to say, you like the video, dislike the video, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. Let me know what you think about this analysis of Dugtrio, my mole, in the OU tier, guys. Leave a Pokemon you want to see me do next week, and that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you're awesome, amazing audience. I'll see you guys later. Nips is out for now. Enjoy yourself. Have a great day. Love your faces. I'll see you guys next time.